Life happens, but we need to move on ahead.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. We stood there from 10 p.m. till 4 a.m.
Oh my God.
At a point, no cars were coming again. We were dressing up, and that news that there is this accident on Omaha Road. When my mom heard that, she screamed, she shouted. I looked at my mom, she was crying.
Hello, you're welcome to Let's Talk with Chisom. I'm so excited to be doing this again. We always bring you interesting and inspiring personalities on this platform. Yeah, we have a queen in the house. She's graced several television screens lately because of her record-breaking achievements in her industry. She's a celebrity baker. She's a pastry chef. She's a recipe developer. She's a TV baking show host. She's an international baking coach. She's a content creator. She's a brand ambassador. She's a wife. She's a mother. She is more. She is Mrs. Chioma Okea Halam. I hope I didn't slaughter the name.
I'm a pastry chef. I started to blogging in Africa, and also I'm a recipe developer. So I'm about to set a record this weekend. On Saturday, 22nd July, I'll be setting a record. I'll be baking and teaching at the same time 50 of my amazing cake recipes in a stretch of 2
Yeah, you're welcome. The recipe queen herself. Yay. So happy to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. It's a privilege. Yeah. So tell me, I'm curious, the bakeries, how did you pull it off? Like, how did you pull it off? 50 recipes, and you actually did 56 recipes in 24 hours. I'm a baker, so in my head, I'm just playing. Did you do it like 30 minutes per? How did you do it?
First of all, thanks for having me on the show. Like, we've all heard her. She has tried to introduce me and all that.
The easiest way possible, because she's more than what I just explained.
Yeah, my name is Chioma Okea Halam. I'm known as the recipe queen in the Nigerian cake industry. Recently, I set a record. I didn't break a record per se. I set a record. I had to bake and teach 56 recipes in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So that whole event, I tagged the bakeries. 50 recipes in 24 hours bakeries with that recipe queen. So you were asking me, how did I cook it? First of all, I would say God saw me through. God really did his thing. In fact, he did it. Because at the end of the day, when I was like, testifying and all that, all I could say was God did it. It wasn't easy, because if you look out from the angle of age-wise, I'm 40. It's not that easy for a 40-year-old person to like stand
for that long
4 hours and bake. Not only baking and teaching at the same time.
Very important.
And also answering people's questions. So I would say God really, helped me to go through. The catch is to help a lot of bakers bake right. And I said to myself, I think I'll have to do this. So I talked to my husband. He supported me, and that was how the whole thing started. Before I had to throw it out to the general public, and everybody embraced.
This thing caught fire.
Yeah, everybody.
Literally.
Yeah, everybody embraced the idea, because you know what it means for someone to teach free.
Yes.
And when I talk of recipes,
I did it on a stretch.
Yeah, it's not even just anyhow recipes. Quite all right. I dish out amazing recipes.
Proven recipes.
For people to come and learn free of charge, man, it's so that was why a lot of people embraced it. And aside that, another thing that helped me pull through was the support I got from my colleagues. When I threw it out there, I told them that, see what I want to do. A lot of them were so happy for me. A lot of them had to take it upon themselves. They supported me. financially, they were just, Choma, what do you need? We're here for you. A lot of them were on the venue cheering me up.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, I couldn't make it because I had an event that weekend.
Oh yeah, so that was it. So I would say God helped me pull through. Then my husband, my number one support system. Then coupled with the fact my colleagues, the whole Nigerian baking industry, I like both the ones that are here and in diaspora. A lot of people helped me, as in they supported me. They were there praying for me, backing me
Even
up.
under the rain.
Yeah, they were there. You could see the support. The love was massive. So with this whole thing, as in that happened, all of them were there for me, and that was one of the things that made me pull through. I couldn't do it alone. And again, the brands as well. A lot of companies also bought into the idea. They were there to support the project. They were there to support me. So I think that was how this whole thing, pulled through. Yeah.
It was massive.
Yeah.
It was massive. I remember being at my event and having to steal away and just trying to catch a glimpse of it online. Yeah, it was massive. Yeah, congratulations by the way.
Thank you.
Because it was successful.
Thank
yeah, but I could sit down with you and talk about cake from today to tomorrow. But there is this part of you that a lot of people don't know, and that's the part I really want us to talk about.
Okay.
Have you always been this successful? Because now we know the recipe queen, right? You're a brand ambassador, you're international, you're a recipe developer, content, you're everything. Have you always been this successful? Were you born with a silver spoon? I want to take us to your background.
Oh, not really. Success is something that happens, is like a ladder.
Okay.
You keep climbing till you're there. So I didn't just wake up to see myself as a recipe queen.
Okay.
It took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of determination. It took a lot of practice for me to be here right now at the top. Okay. Let me just, there is a story behind the woman you're seeing.
Okay.
There is a story behind the recipe queen. There is a story behind Chioma.
Should we start with Chioma first?
Yes, let's start with Chioma.
Because there had to be a Chioma before there could be a recipe queen. Exactly. So let's start with her.
Okay, Chioma. In fact, I'm trying to get down the memory lane. A lot of things. I'll start off with my childhood.
Okay.
Chioma at the point was an only child, and as time went on, my younger siblings came forth. So actually, we're 4 in the family. I have 3 siblings, and I'm the eldest per se. Though there were some before me, but they died. So at the point, I was the only one before the other ones came forth. So Chioma was a little girl. Then I'm talking about the Chioma of the early, would I say early days?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Chioma.
A kid.
Yeah. Chioma of 1984, 85, 86, 87. Chioma was a little girl growing up. Everything was okay, rosy. I had my parents there. I went to the best schools and all that. But I kept growing up, seeing my dad, seeing my mom. Anything that I wanted, I had.
That's your beck and call.
Yeah. I didn't really feel, when I was growing up, as in when I was less than 10 years, I didn't really, feel any difficulty because whatever I wanted, I had. And when I was 10, I would say a part of my life changed, On that fateful day, my dad went to work, came back, we ate together. He decided to go to the village, drop some things for the mom, and come back as well. So he left. The last thing I could remember him saying, he was telling my mom, please, my mom wanted to go with me. He now told my mom, no, stay with the kids, take care of them. My mom was like, why would you tell me to take care of these kids? There are people in the house that can take care of them. Then my dad was like, no, you have to stay behind and take care of the kids. So, but nobody knew that. Maybe he saw something, or maybe he knew that he was not going to come back. So he left for that journey. He went there, and when he was coming back, he was involved in a ghastly motor accident.
Wow.
And I would say that day, that was 29th January 1993. Yeah,
You
1993.
were 10 at the time.
Yeah, I
Wow.
was 10, you know. So he left and he didn't come back. So that particular night, I would say, was the one of the longest nights I've ever experienced. Apart from as a mom now, maybe you go through labor in the night and it's like the night is so long. But
Exactly.
that particular night was one of the longest. I was 10 years old. My mom woke me up with my siblings. She was carrying our last. Our last one then was just a year.
Wow.
So she now said, let's go and wait for my dad on the road to see, because my dad has never slept out before. He has never told me he will come back and he did not come back. So maybe, who knows, maybe his car spoiled or whatever. And those days,
There was no GSM at the time.
no, we're talking of 1993.
Yeah, there was no GSM.
People had, they call it then cellular phone. But
Land
so, but a lot of people were not, opportunity to have it. So, because most people were struggling per se. So that night we went out, we stood on the road. You know that joy when you see a car coming, you're like, yeah, he's the one. And the car would just zoom and pass. We stood there from 10 p.m. till 4 a.m.
Oh my God.
At a point, no cars were coming again. My mom now said, hey, this morning where everybody's going to school and I'm going to work, let's go. Perhaps we'll be back in the morning. Who knows, maybe he decided to change his mind. Maybe the mom is not okay and all that. So we had to walk down home, sleep a little bit, then we woke up, we prayed. But something happened that morning, that 30th morning. 7 a.m. there's this news thing on the radio. So my mom was brushing, we were dressing up, and that news, that there is this accident on Omaha Road. When my mom heard that, she screamed, she shouted, hell, this is your dad. She told me, this is your dad. So we're like, he's a lie, he's not the one. So when she screamed, my neighbors had to run into the house. They were like, what is going on? So my mom
did they call the plate number or something? How did she know?
No, immediately she heard there was an accident. She now said that is her husband. That because she knows that her husband cannot go out without coming back.
Yes.
I don't know if you get
yes.
So when my neighbors were like trying to hold her, trying to make her calm, she now said, can you do me a favor? She told the neighbors, can you do me a favor? He now said, what? She said, can you go there and confirm? So for us, we had to start going to school. So they had to prepare us quickly. We went to school. So my neighbor started embarking on that journey to go and check whether my dad was really the person involved in that accident. So when in school that day, I could remember I was so moody.
Oh my God, I don't even want to imagine.
Everything they were teaching, I was like, who knows, maybe by the time I get back home, he'll be back. Who knows, maybe he's dead. A lot of things were going on in my mind as a little girl, So that afternoon after school, as I was coming back, from afar, when I entered our street, because it's a long street, I saw people in front of my house. I was like, as a kid, I didn't really understand the scenario.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. I was like, what's really going on? Is my mom okay? What happened? So by the time I got closer, I could see my dad's picture, outside.
Displayed.
I looked at my mom. She was crying. So when she saw me, she was like, she opened her arms, embraced me, welcome back. Then my siblings were back as well. She was like crying, held all of us. So people were like, no, they should take us out and all that. So I think I'll have to pause on this side. So that was how it happened then. Before you knew it, all that, the burial came. But there was this particular thing that always, struck in my memory. Each time, even while growing up, I always had that thing at the back of my mind. Before my dad died, that January, because it was on a January 29th, but my birthday was on the 19th.
Okay.
So on the 19th, he drove me around. He put me in the car, drove me. When you told me that you were coming for this, I had to, because while I was, coming to Lagos, I took the last gift he gave me because I don't know whether I'll be going back to it again. Maybe I will marry. So let me have this. I'll always keep it. I will show my kids. So because while I was coming to Lagos after service before I got married, my mom already, she was building a house. So I said, I don't know, by the time maybe they will be moving, they might displace this particular thing. So I decided to come with it. Yeah, I have a pair. So this was the card.
Wow.
He gave me.
I see.
Yeah. My last birthday, he gave me this gift when he was driving me around. And there was this note he wrote down. I'm going to read it out. So you see, as in where my success, everything, boiled down.
This is so emotional.
Yeah, honestly. So he now wrote me, he said, advice. As you are now growing up, you need to work harder at school, more than ever for better results. We all love you. Have a nice birthday, Dad. So sorry, and
he didn't know that this was going to be the last birthday. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fight back tears. Like,
life happens, but we need to move on ahead.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world, So, that's why I'm telling this story, so I could encourage a lot of people out there. When things happen, it's not the end of the world, There's this saying, as long as there is life, there is hope. My mom, with the help of other people, they had to put me into secondary school and all that scholarship. So, but things were not rosy at all.
Because I was going to ask, how did your mom cope?
A woman that had 4 children to cater for, there was no help from anywhere. It wasn't easy. As a kid, I was in Catholic church, so the Catholic church gave me scholarship. But by the time we now switched to a Pentecostal church, most of those things were withdrawn. So that was how so the scholarship did not continue. So my mom was there to cater for everybody. She was working as then she was a nurse, a young nurse. So her salary she would split to make sure that we are okay. There are times we will not have food to eat. There are times we cry all through. There are times, a lot of things happen. Those days, all we knew was church.
Wow.
Morning prayers. We go to we call it an early ICD. The Catholics will say morning mass, but in the Pentecostal church we call it early ICD. We go to church in the mornings. We pray. We come back. In the afternoon, if there is fellowship, we go to fellowship. We'll come back. If there is night vigil, so it was a routine.
Were you enjoying it at the time?
I had no choice. It turned to be a routine. We now got used to it. It was a part of us. My siblings, some of them joined choir and all that, so we were actively involved in the church.
Yeah.
So there was no time for
excesses. Do you think it builds something in you?
It did. It did. Because assuming my mom didn't throw that part, and we always had time, what will I be doing at that time? I don't know if you guys. Watching films, going to people's houses, parambulating, everybody will go, but we were always in the church. So the thing really helped me. So you cannot come to my house and you will not pray.
Wow.
You cannot be in my house and you don't go to church.
Wow.
Every Sunday, my mom will look at everybody. Even if you don't, as in, tidy up on time, you have to do it in the car. People could do a lot of things, but when I look at myself, those people doing those things, they have mom, they have dad. Me, I have only one. So I will do everything to set my path straight. And besides that, I was the first. If a firstborn like me derails, what will happen to my siblings?
The younger ones.
That means they'll also derail. So I had every reason to be on the straight path.
And get it right.
Get it right so that my siblings will follow that line. Then I got admission into the university. The advice, that particular advice, my dad notes and my dad wrote on that card, I always remember this.
This is how many? This is about 20, 30 years? This is about 30 years. And you still have this?
Yeah.
Wow.
I kept it. My mom, she doesn't talk much, but she does something. there's this significant thing she always do or say. The first time she did it, it was in the kitchen. She showed me a mortar and pestle. I don't know. Most people might not know what a mortar and a pestle is. But if you're Igbo, you know it's she would say this, Chioma. I will speak my dialect, then I will have to translate. Yeah. Chioma. And when okay him now wadi, but him chore wadi ilawala su. Imara asu. So ni pe. Ni magasu. They saw nala. But him chore wadi mara ebisi. Ehulana all nani. Within my way. So what am I trying to say? Let me translate. She always tell me, see, Chioma, you know, you don't have a dad. I'm the only dad you have right now. I'm the only mom you have right now. And this is mortar. This is pestle. If you know how to pound in that mortar. But if you don't know how to pound, look at the floor. The choice is yours. Know where you're coming from. She's always telling me that. She's not this kind of mom that will shout, don't do this, don't do that. No. My mom will just leave you with that word, those words, and she will now tell you, I'm off to work. Safe journey. Always keep in touch. If you need anything, let me know. So when each time I went back to school, maybe you know campus lifestyle, you see people doing all sorts, let's go
to get carried away,
let's do this, let's do that. Each time those things will ring bell. Chioma, Imarasu.
It's one
It's one AB, she know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
You don't have a dad, I am your dad, I am your mom. You cannot afford to disappoint. So those words, you know, were coming on thoughts, and it really put me on track. So when people were doing also, I'll say to myself, I have only a mom. I don't have a dad. So that's my dad and mom. I cannot afford to disappoint her or make her go through pain. By the time I got married, my husband was like, babe, you're not going to work. Because before I met him, I was working somewhere. So by the time we got married, now said I should stop working so I could face the family, have my kids, raise them, and you know, even as, would I say, a housewife then, I was not relaxed.
Because I was going to ask, because that's something a lot of women have to deal with. You know, they get married and then their husbands are like, I want you to sit down. So how were you able to pull through that phase?
I didn't really relax. So even then that I was a housewife.
Were you baking at the time?
No, I was researching. What can I do, you know? But at the point, I was kind of confused. It's as if depression wanted to come in, because I was now seeing the whole thing as maybe I'm being a liability. Any little thing, I'll ask my husband, I need this, I need that, I need. You can imagine he goes to work, maybe the gas finishes, there's no money to fill the gas, you have to wait for him to, you know, at the point he was staring. No healthy woman should stay idle.
Bam! Please say it again.
No healthy woman.
I'm telling you.
Should stay
idle for any reason whatsoever.
You have, even if this, let me use the word, there's no kobo now, but I will get down to that grade. Even if it's one kobo,
something,
it is necessary. Make that one kobo. Assist your partner. Assist the family. Be relevant.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, why am I saying this? I think a year into the business.
A year, yes, he said
a year into the business, my husband lost his job. Yeah. No one saw it coming. So how did you cope? Beginning of the year.
Wow.
It's not something I would wish even my enemy.
Wow.
It wasn't fun. You know, assuming he had plans, maybe he saw it coming. Yeah,
there were provisions,
but there was no savings.
Wow.
And I was at the same time pregnant. I already had one, and I was pregnant
for the second one. Wow.
So
how did you? Because I'm just trying to imagine.
So you know, life happens at each point in time. But no matter what, I keep telling people, no matter what you pass through, do not give up.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
As a Christian, giving up is never an option.
It's not an option.
You now have to start struggling to even get a car. I can remember what it took us. It wasn't easy, my sister.
Imagine
that my first son was wearing Pampers, take money. That we were eating, take money. That my husband will, you know, need transport to go and
look for
TVs.
Yes.
Take money. You can imagine if I thought I was not doing anything.
As he said initially, and it's actually done out of a place of love.
Yeah.
When I hear men say, I don't want my wife to, they do it because they love their wives. But just imagine in your own case, if you had actually sat down and crossed your hand.
No, I would encourage every woman out there. If you're not doing anything, please level up.
Level up, that's the word.
You need to level up.
Level up,
Don't continue being idle. Because life happens. Nobody knows. We don't pray for bad things, but things happen. There are things you cannot control.
There's nothing you can do about it.
When it comes to death is something that's inevitable. It will happen, but as Christians, we wish to, based on the promises of the Lord, He has promised us that we'll live to a good old age.
Yes.
But what if you're not opportune to live to that good old age, as into that? I don't know if you understand. What happens? So everybody's supposed to have a plan B.
Yes.
In life, get ready. At every moment, at every minute, you have to be ready, because nobody knows what's going to happen next tomorrow.
Yes.
For someone like me, my story now. Okay, I've said a little part of my story. I grew up seeing my dad and mom. At the point, my dad was no more. There was no more. Nobody planned for that.
So imagine your mom wasn't doing anything.
You can imagine. So that is why I encourage every woman, if you're watching this program right now and you're not doing anything, after today, start up something. Even if it's selling pure water, if it's something, make little money to assist in the family. It is very, very necessary. Because even if anything happens, when people are there to help you, they'll be like, how do we assist you? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
How can we assist?
What do you have in your hand?
I don't even understand. So you need to be doing something. If you're into business, people can even rally around and say, okay, we will give you this money to boost your business. I don't know if you get, but if you're not doing anything, where do you start from? Where are you starting from?
Yeah. So, and I think we also need to make an appeal to men out there, because there are men that love their wives so much. They're like, we don't want you to work. We don't want you to drive.
For me, nowadays, I think it's a selfish thing. It's not. It's a selfish matter. You can't just tie someone down
in the name of love. It's not really
doing the whole. No, for me, it's not love. It can be love for someone, but for me, it's not love. It's like punishing that person. That person needs to build
capacity.
Every woman should build herself.
Yes,
but you build yourself in the positive way.
Yes,
don't use it against your
spouse. Very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just do it to be relevant in the society. For me to be here today, it was as a result of being idle. I had to learn to be passionate about this whole thing.
So you started like you just wanted to pass time.
Yeah, that was it. I didn't want to be idle. I needed to make money. Money was at the back of my mind.
So anything
that can give me money,
so long as it's legit and it's not taking you out of the house.
Honestly, yeah. So that was the main thing. So by God's grace, then my younger sister, she was still in school. She called me that day. She said, Chioma, I don't like you being idle. You're a very creative person. Why not see whether you can learn a craft or a skill that will help you? As in, even if it's tailoring, baking, cooking, like catering for people, that I can do it. I should start up something. Baking. Now
it's rang a bell.
Yeah. Now I said to myself, let me give this a try. So what did I do? I started buying magazines. Then you could buy wedding planner magazines. You flip at the pages, the last part, you see people that are into cakes, event decor and all that. So that was how I got the person that trained me. I saw her contact there. I had to call her. Can you train me? I want to learn cake making and event decor. She now said yes. That was how I wrote for that particular program, and I did it for 2 months, and I started. So in the course of starting up, I was struggling a lot because the person was not there. At a point, I said, this thing is not working. I'm not sure I can continue. But my husband is this kind of a person who will support you till the end. He will always encourage you. So he kept encouraging me, babe, you can do this. Remember, Rome was not built in a day. I don't know if you get it. You will do it. Just put your mind to it. Yes, you are complaining that there is no job. At times, one job in 2 months, one job in 3 months. Relax. Time will come when jobs will
be bombarding you.
So it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
don't despise the days of your little beginning, your humble beginning.
yeah.
So he kept encouraging me, he kept advising me. So that thing kept sinking into me, and before you knew, I started loving what I was doing. So the passion started growing. I had to start talking to myself. Like I keep telling people, for you to succeed in anything you're doing, there are some principles that will need to guide you. I have guiding principles. For someone like me, even when I go out there to talk, I always tell them about these 3 particular principles that will keep you on track. You know what? I call it the principle of PED. PED.
Okay.
The P stands for patience, the E stands for encouragement, and the D stands for determination.
Okay.
You know, at a point, I started being patient. Telling myself, even if I don't have a job today or no cake order comes, with time, they'll start coming. I was patient enough, and before I knew it, jobs started coming. Then the encouragement part, I had to start encouraging myself. Even if you're not getting it right today, because I could remember those days, I would mold something. Maybe I would say I want to mold like Mickey Mouse. It will look like
something else.
Let me use the word Ojuju.
Ojuju Calabar.
But I would say to myself, Choma, yes, you tried today, but very soon with time, you get perfect. So I was encouraged. The best encouragement you can give yourself is the self-encouragement. The one you give, honestly, the one in you. You tell yourself, I can do this. I will do it. I know it's a matter of time. I can remember those days when I did. There's this particular customer or client I had. She's always complaining, your cakes are oily, your cakes are oily. She tried to like discourage me from the business. So, but I said to myself, no matter the kind of push I get from her, no matter the kind of backlash or criticism I get from her, I would be better. I know it's a matter of time. I would be better. I would someday in life, my cakes will turn out to be very, very yummy.
Yes.
Not oily again and all. And it happened.
Yeah.
I have to encourage myself. Then determination is the part you look up to someone. Maybe you see people like maybe your mentors up there. You're like determined. Oh, someday I'll be like this person, you know. Someday I'll be like this person, or even more than this person. So I was really determined to get it right in all my like baking endeavors. I had to register my business, do all the whole CAC thing to 2009. So I would say professionally 14 years, but generally 15 years of being in the industry. Yeah. The passion now grew. I love this so much. I had to start upgrading myself. Different trainings, trying out different things, you know. The love for the business and all that now had to make me to venture into cake blogging.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2015, I had to venture into cake blogging. And by God's grace, I would say I'm the first African cake blogger.
Wow.
I started cake blogging in Africa.
Wow.
You know, I opened up a website, had a mobile app where you go there, cake news, cake displays, cake showcase and all that. So the love for the business, the passion also helped me to like, you know, widen the cake thing. So when you see me, you talk about cake. When you see Choma, what comes to your mind? Cake business, cake blogging, cake that. And the love for the whole thing, the passion also made me today, I'm a recipe developer. And today I go out there, travel out to teach people. Yeah. I had to open up a YouTube channel where I dish out recipes, cake tutorials to help people, you know, bake right, decorate right, and all that. So I would say life has been there.
Ups and downs.
Yeah. But thank God we are here today. We made it, we are successful. Yeah. That's just it. I'm happy when I look back to where I'm coming from and where I am right now. I have every cause to give God glory, and I have every cause to tell people out there, no matter what you're passing through, it's just a matter of time. It's a phase. If you come and go, it's not permanent. You have to put God first, God factor.
Very important.
You have to be prayerful because there are lots of challenges out there. We face those challenges, but what keeps you? God. So God factor must be there. And there's this other thing that I also advise people, no matter what, integrity matters a lot. Even when nobody is watching you, do the right thing.
That's who you really are when nobody is watching.
Yeah, do the right thing. Then I would say whatever you're doing, if you're working for someone, if you're self-employed, just be passionate about that. that passion has to be there, because
Very
without that
important.
passion, you will not go far. If you have lost a parent, maybe your mom or your dad, you have to be focused. Focus is the key. Know why you are there. Do not let people to distract you. Do not let pressure to distract you. People might tell you, is your mom alone now? What will she? She can't train you alone. You need to do this. Tell them you can survive.
Yeah.
By God on your side, and with your own, struggles. Even in school, as a student, maybe you lost a parent. You can as well start up something. There are lots of things to do in school. Side hustle.
Yes, side hustle. Yes, plenty.
Yeah, side hustle. You can decide to be, photocopying notes. You can decide
Even this baking self.
even learn a craft.
Yes, learn a
fix
craft.
nails,
Make
as a
hair,
maker,
weave,
all those things.
a lot of
to
things.
support yourself.
Makeup.
You must not bow to the pressure of getting married, or maybe entering into prostitution, or
Hook up,
maybe
yeah.
living a wayward life. And
Just to make ends meet. Your mom never had to do that.
no way. So for me, I was focused. I would say to myself, Chioma, no matter what or how the pressure comes or whatever, I'll finish school before getting married. And then for people like my mom, maybe you lost a spouse and there are lots of challenges. Just know it's for the meantime. Don't dwell in the past. You have to move on.
Yeah.
You have to move on. If it's getting so difficult on you, open up. Cry out.
Cry out.
Don't keep things to yourself. Don't allow depression to set in.
Exactly.
You can talk to people. You can talk to brethren. If you're in a church, meet your brethren.
Yes.
Talk to them. Look at the kind of difficulty I'm passing through. Look at what I'm facing. I cannot train these kids alone. These kids are not only mine. How can you help me out?
Yeah.
Even if you cannot do it in the church, if you want to use social media as a tool, now a lot of people's voices are being heard over social media. You can come out, say something.
You never can tell where the help comes from. Yeah.
Tell people, I cannot do this thing alone. No, this thing is weighing me down.
Yeah.
You'll see people coming to your aid. You can reach out to people that have blogs. Just keep throwing your cards. You can never tell.
Yeah.
You don't just go in there and drink maybe something inside. It's all over. I can't take it anymore. Leaving the kids.
And you know that
if
the person were to give up, people will say, why didn't you speak up?
Yeah, so you need to speak. You need to speak up. So
I was going to ask you one more thing.
Okay.
Because I know that looking at your story, you came out with cake, and when you were like cake with all these awards that are here, where it's like then entered blogging, and then when we thought that okay, we've seen the best of her, you gave us so what are we expecting from you soon? Are we or is it inside the oven? You're still preparing to putting it together? Because I know you have a lot in your head.
A lot of things are baking. One motto I have in life is forward ever. I've gotten to a point of no return.
Yeah.
I'll keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep climbing. So there are lots of things in the pipeline.
Okay.
So I would say to you out there watching me,
we need to watch out.
Just relax.
Yeah.
Keep calm and watch out.
Mm-hmm.
You see all those things. Yeah, there are awards, recognition awards, and all that. For you to pull through in life, whatever you're doing, you have to be consistent. We've not talked about consistency, but I'm leaving you with this consistency. Whatever you're doing, you have to be consistent. Keep pushing. You will get there. Do not give up. Giving up is not
an option. Yeah. I think you've said that several times. I think it's one of your mottos.
Yeah, it guides me.
I can tell because you've said it over and over and over again. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming once again. Thank you so
for having
much.
Me.
Thank you.
And thank you out there for watching as well. Yeah.
So we've come to the end of today's episode of Let's Talk with Chisom. I just feel like we shouldn't end. I feel like we should continue. Please, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and click the subscribe button if you haven't.
Subscribe.
Click the subscribe button. We'll put the link to our Instagram handle there. So follow her as well on social media. The Recipe Queen. The Recipe. Why do I keep saying this? The Recipe Queen. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching once again. See you. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.